And of course, today is Friday. I'm going to be talking about 5 decks that I've seen being played in a friendly duel, namely locally. Um, and these 5 decks are extremely they're good. They're reliable. Though some of them you won't ever see anyone use. So let's begin, shall we? I'm sorry because I have no visual effects whatsoever, but I promise as I go on and progress with my videos, I will find a way to start making visual effects for my channel. Either way, we're gonna go with the top 5 casual decks that I've actually seen being played, based on my experience at where I live, which is here in Los Fresnos. Starting off at number 5, I've actually seen desk bots. Now, desk bots are really good. Me personally, I don't know how they actually operate. I know that they're based on machine type deck. It's a machine type deck that you run, also pendulum based deck. So in a sense, um, what was it called? In a sense, you will be requiring what's his face, Clifford Genius, which actually allows you to actually search out a machine type monster that you need for the it's for the deck. So like you don't have something that you need, you could easily link the pendulum to desk bots to that to its zones to the zones that Clifford Genius points to. Then you get to actually search out another deskbot monster that you can get. I've seen it being ran once, though I know that my friend Ruben Gonzalez actually had. Um, a friend of mine was actually borrowing it from him, and apparently, what ended up happening was something kind of went off with the deck, and he ended up losing, and I was using a makeshift deck. Coming in number, we actually have, um, I actually had seen Odd Eyes Magicians. A friend of mine actually started playing Odd Eyes Magicians because he fell in love with Yuya Sakaki and he just wanted to make the deck that Yuya would run. Um, Idealistically, he will not be seeing certain cards that Yuya runs in the deck, in his deck, and come out in the actual real life. But he's running a Odd Eyes Magician deck, which I found extremely formidable. But only the only problem was it had a hard time combating my Abyss Actors, which is actually kind of funny because I used an Odd Eyes engine, so you would have thought like, oh, yeah, you can cancel out one with another, which unfortunately wasn't the case for him, and we ended up getting into some major arguments over some card effects, which is actually pretty funny. Either way, coming in at number 3, we actually have one of the first decks that I've ever that could have ever been made. I think is actually correct. But at number 4, I have Buster Bladers. Now, Buster Bladers earned and respect earned their respectable title, as in you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh, because if you play certain engines in the deck, you will like completely lock your opponent out of all of their monster effects, all of their card effects. Just technically, everything is like negated unless your opponent has monster effects that activate as soon as they hit the field. Yeah, that's something that actually kind of happens. Either way, though, with that deck, you always want to have Buster Dragon and Buster Blader, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman, I do believe is his name, which is a synchro and a fusion card. So you have the synchro monster, which turns your opponent's entire field of monsters into dragon type monsters. Then you fusion summon for Buster Blade or the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman, and apparently your um, your opponent's monsters become get switched to defense, also have their effects negated, and I do believe they cannot switch their um, they cannot switch their position, which is actually very valuable because Buster Blader, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman, I do believe is his name. Please, anyone who runs Buster Bladers for that fusion monster, correct me if I'm wrong. Um, but on the name, but I know that his effect allows himself to gain 1,000 attack for each dragon type monster on the field, and of course that monster cannot attack direct, so it kind of sucks if your opponent wipes out his own field, you have that fusion monster on the field, and it's just like, what the fuck? You can't destroy it. Like, you can't attack, so, and you usually want to place Buster Dragon in defense position, which actually allows and helps with protecting it because its attack is extremely low. Either way, moving on, coming in at number 2, I believe, would actually have, as much as I hate to say it, it would actually have to be um, Rockets. Now, the Rockets I am extremely fascinated by. I've always wanted to make the deck ever since I heard of it. Just like the Ancient Gears, um, though with the actual running of the Rockets, I'm finding it extremely hard to come across um, the cards necessary for the deck because I'm cut off from my friends at the moment. Um, and normally my friends have no way to meet up with me, so that's a big time downer, sorry. Um, but the Rockets seem extremely good. I haven't really looked into what they can do, but as soon as if I ever make the deck, I will be giving you guys a debrief on the deck. And finally, coming in in number 1, we actually have the DDDs. Now, as everyone knows, and if you're a beginner, you don't really know this, but the DDDs stand for Different Dimensional Demons, which is actually a really good which is a really good deck, whether you play the pure build, the pendulum build, or the Layer of Darkness build, which is what I play. Um, there are so many ways to play the build and of the DDDs, and I remember in the beginning, my friends were telling me, dude, there's no other way to build the DDDs other than going the pure build because the DDDs will just pretty much screw everything over, which later down the line I found you can actually make multi builds of it, which was actually pretty fascinating when I first found it. And of course, some people tend to cooperate the DDD build into their Pendulum Magicians. I found that extremely weird, but the deck is extremely good. If we were still in Master Rule 3, the Pendulum era, I am certainly guaranteeing that you have like a 4 freaking card combo. And this is the only combo that I'm actually going to explain at the moment. So please, please can follow along with me. Okay, so say you have your starting hand. So say you have Dark Contract with the Gate, you have DD Swirl Slime, DD Necro Slime, DD Lamia, and DDD Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok. Now, a lot of people have never thought of this, which I do thank Ruben and Bill for the introduction to that um, to this combo for me. So what you end up doing is you can actually activate or keep Gate in your hand. But what you do is you fusion Swirl Slime and Necro Slime from your hand, bring out Genghis, DDD, Flame King Genghis. Then what you do is you normal summon Lamia, Synchro for Alexander. Then what you after that you end up banishing Swirl Slime, Special Ragnarok, effective Alexander and effective Ragnarok. Alexander's effect actually goes off first, so effective Alexander, special Lamia right back to the field. Effective Ragnarok, special Genghis right back to the field. Synchro Synchro Alexander and Lamia together for Siegfried. Now, when Siegfried is summoned, you actually special summon Genghis. No, you use Genghis' effect, special Alexander right back to the field. Now, effective Lamia, based on if you have Gate, either if Gate's on your field, you send it to the graveyard, or if it's in your hand, you mill it to the graveyard. Special summon Lamia. Synchro again with Alexander and Lamia. Lamia gets banished by her own effect. You synchro summon Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Now, after that, you banish Alexander and Necro Slime. Fusion summon for DDD Dragonbane King Beowulf. Upon doing that, you can overlay Beowulf and Ragnarok. Now, here's the thing. You mainly want to go for number 38 Hope Harbinger number 38 Hope Harbinger Titanic Dragon Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. I have a feeling I butchered that name horribly. Please notify me if I did. Um, and then that is pretty much a one-turn kill. I remember when I used to play when links were fairly new, and me, I didn't have any links at the time. I started playing in I still played in Master Rule 3 format, and I used my DDD strategy against a friend of mine, and he called it total bullshit. It was just so funny. He's like, "You can't do that." I'm like, "Yes, I can. It's well within my limits. Like, I can do this." And he goes, "No, there's no way you can do that because that's bullshit. There's no way a deck can be that powerful." I'm like, "Welcome to the Pendulum era," because he was extremely older versions where before Pendulum ever came out and before the DVDs were ever a thing. Yeah, it was to him it was bullshit, which was actually pretty funny. I remember the first time I went up against that, I said the same thing. I was like, "Dude, that's bad." And sure enough, you actually could, which was actually pretty funny. Either way, that's all for this video, guys. I know that it's relatively short. It's mainly because I am extremely tired at the moment. Um, Not only that, but like there's some stress that I've been going through daily. So I'll keep you guys posted. Hopefully during my next video. During my next video, keep a lookout for it because if you were watching my previous videos, my two previous videos, I do believe, I did I did offer, and I still am offering, to get rid of my Super Heavy Samurai deck, my Cyber Dragon deck, and what I have of the Fluffles for two Heavy Metal Foil Electrolytes from the Megatin, which are actually $6 a piece. So in a sense, I'm butchering myself, and I am not bullshitting. I will be throwing those out. I am not gonna bullshit you. If I wanted to bullshit you, then I'd do it completely different. And you can ask any of my friends if you know them or if you actually find a way to get to know them that I have actually given out cards that were worth a shitload and ended up like going for something that I needed at the moment, and I actually kind of fucked myself over, but still it was worth it for me and it was worth it for them. I mean, I gave my friend Ruben Gonzalez two Card of Demise the original print, which I do believe was like 22 bucks a piece, which actually both of them amounted to 44 bucks a piece. Well, 44 bucks in total, and all I ended up getting out of it was what I needed to help try to complete my DDDs, and of course, when I was actually running the Supreme King Magicians, that's what I had to try to make. Um, yeah, that was a big blunder on my part. If I would have actually kept those cards, I would have actually tried to trade them off for two of the original Electromites. Um, but hey, what are we gonna do? Either way, keep an eye out for my next video, because my next video will be on in the end I will be showing you what I have of my Fluffles, and I might even throw in an extra deck, like another like part of a deck that I'm going to be getting rid of for just two heavy metal full Electromites. I am seriously desperate right now. Do not take this as a joke if you're watching, because I am dead serious. I'm not fucking with you. Anyway, see you guys back here on Monday.